Okay, so for this next video, I just wanted to kind of preface it and say that I'm really excited that I got to film all of this content while I was home, and to be able to show hands kind of what life in Hawaii, getting together with your family is like. I think it's something that's kind of special. I know that families get together and have potlucks and, you know, Sunday family dinner. Growing up, I had Sunday dinner at my grandma's house every weekend, like no matter what, faithfully every weekend. And during the pandemic, when we couldn't gather, we switched to calling each other on Zoom, and we still do that now, which is perfect because since we moved to Singapore, I still get to call in, still get to see them. But yeah, I think it's something really special. I know that it's not something that people in Hawaii, that only people in Hawaii do, but I do think that there's something different about the way that people in Hawaii do it. But also that's definitely like me having a special place for it in my heart. But even going to college and meeting people on the mainland, I think sharing my experiences and hearing their experiences growing up and getting together with family, it is kind of different. So yeah, here's just kind of like a very foodie take on getting together in Hawaii. Family potlucks, when people are visiting, when you go home. So here it is.
Probably hotter than yeah,
This is my first time living here full time.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure everyone knows what poke is. It's like the diced raw fish that's flavored or like marinated. On the mainland, I don't think I've ever seen poke just by itself. It's always like poke bowls on top of rice. But in Hawaii, we just eat poke like pupus is what we call like appetizers, and every time you have a get together, people will bring pupus to start your meal. And you just kind of like talk with one another while you snack on things like poke, which may sound a little unorthodox to those of you that weren't raised in Hawaii, but high-key recommend for your next party. So basically in Hawaii, poke is a pretty big deal. And people have different camps on where to get the best poke from, but a lot of people just go to their local grocery store and you kind of buy it like how you'd buy, I don't know, like cheese or cold cuts or something. Like you're just like, oh, can I have a half pound of like spicy ahi or something like that. And so Foodland, Times, Tamura's, those are kind of like our local grocery stores. You just go and you buy that, buy some and then pack it up and bring it to your party. So yeah.
I think the old, you know, art.
Okay, also something that I wanted to talk about is mijeon. It was briefly like shown in the video clips, but I'll insert photos here. This is basically what mijeon is. It's our version of like local Korean food, but I didn't even know that it wasn't like a thing, that it was only a Hawaii thing until I went to the mainland for school. So mijeon is basically like you get like thin slices of beef and then you dip it in like an egg sort of batter and then you fry it and eat it with like a, I don't know what it even is, mijeon sauce. It's kind of like a shoyu, so soy sauce, like think of tempura sauce, but for mijeon. Anyway, super good. If you ever in Hawaii, you have to try it. They sell it at like local Korean stores and plate lunches, things like that. Yeah, you can definitely find it, and if not, hit me up and I will try to make some for you. But yeah, I just needed to mention that because there are lots of food, or there are lots of food, like local Hawaii food, that I didn't realize were only found in Hawaii. So on top of mijeon, there's like gaoji, which is kind of like a wonton, but you deep fry it and you eat it with gaoji sauce. Yeah, just a lot of things like that. I also want to make the distinction between like local food from Hawaii and Hawaiian food. It's kind of like when people say that they're from Hawaii. Like I'm from Hawaii, but I'm not Hawaiian. There are native Hawaiian people, and you know, it's something to be very respectful of, very conscious of. That people from Hawaii, that doesn't mean that they're native Hawaiian. So I'm like Japanese Okinawan, but I'm born and raised in Hawaii, and that's kind of like the food situation too. You'll see in another video, kind of like poi, lala, things like that. Those are like more Hawaiian foods. But since the plantation days, like I had family members that worked in the plantations, and it's kind of like a mixing pot of cultures. You hear that a lot growing up in Hawaii, but it's really true. That's kind of where everyone came together. That's how pidgin kind of was formed, this like slang that people speak in Hawaii, but also the food that was born of it. So you have a lot of like Filipino, Japanese, Korean, like Portuguese, like a whole bunch of different like mixture of these cultures that is very present in not only the language but the food as well, and that makes Hawaii really special, I think. So definitely have to try the food when you come, and yeah, that's just my little spiel on the whole thing. So
Oh, the cheese. You better with one hand.
okay, so this next part, I celebrated my birthday in Hawaii, and I was trying to think of like a theme. Honestly, I couldn't really think of one, but I did want Hans to try a bunch of the food that I ate, or that I like, you know, loved eating growing up in Hawaii, and it just so happened to be mostly chicken. So we went with the chicken cheese themed birthday, and not gonna lie, it was kind of amazing. So please enjoy the Sydney Ito chicken and cheese birthday celebration. So, right before we went back to Singapore, we helped my parents celebrate their 25th wedding anniversary together. There's hands. We got to the venue a little bit early to help set up for the night ahead, and yeah, this is the place. It's called Waikiki Lea, so it's sort of located in a residential area, but on the outskirts of Waikiki. You may or may not have heard of it, but it's kind of where a lot of the tourists and visitors come when they stay in Hawaii. It was just such a quaint and cute little place. My parents had been there once before and totally fell in love with it. It was perfect for the amount of people that they wanted. Just some close friends, family, everyone who helped make their past 25 years together something special. Here is the charcuterie board made by Hans and me by special request of my dad, of course. We are basically charcuterie self-proclaimed masters at this point. So if you ever need one, hit us up. The venue itself provided a lot of the food, including appetizers, drinks. They also had a dinner menu to choose from, so my parents got to select what they wanted throughout the night. And yeah, this is a little snapshot of every single cheese that we bought. Would highly recommend. So this is kind of what happened throughout the night. My dad is a really big surf and turf guy, so we had to have the best of both worlds. We had some shrimp and some meat. Really solid food, really tasty. My parents have actually been together for 40 years. They dated for 15 years before getting married, so definitely a milestone celebration. And they also really love games. So of course we had to do a Who Knows Grant and Joanne Best, which of course their daughter did, but competitive advantage, I guess. After all, we've had 22 years of stories, so it would kind of be sad if I didn't win. This is how we ended the night, and yeah, it was overall just a really special, beautiful, lovely time, and we celebrated well.